Yeah, the members of the Writers Guild really have to be sort of feeling their power today, because they made so much noise around the proposed restarts of talk shows, especially the Drew Barrymore Show, also Jennifer Hudson's show, and Bill Maher Show, all of which have walked back what were plans just a few days ago to start again. In none of these shows was necessarily violating the rules. I mean, there is a big jumble of rules on these things, right? In the case of Drew Barrymore, just to take one example, because she's kind of been at the center of this, she wasn't violating anything by being on the show, even though she's a member of the Screen Actors Guild. That's under her role as a talk show host was under a different contract. One of the things that she did that kind of put her at the center of this was actually, put herself out there, make the announcement herself, and try to explain and justify herself, and that people really pounced on that, whereas others have been able to kind of proceed. The View, for example, has been on, they've had some breaks, but they essentially never stopped. And none of these shows is required to. I mean, even late night shows, if you look at some of the previous strikes, shows like David Letterman would have been out, went on the air, just didn't have writing, just dealt with guests and other things like that. But in this strike, none of the late night shows have ever really even thought about that, unless you do count Bill Maher, who did plan to go on. He specifically said on social media that the fact that they've started talks again has changed his mind. Of course, there was a lot of pressure on him too. He was getting some of the same flack that Barrymore was. Studios and streaming services reached out at the end of last week to the Writers Guild of America, offering to restart talks. The writers agreed, and on Wednesday, we've learned today, they're going to start talking again. A month ago, a similar thing happened, so people are probably managing their expectations a little bit. Last month, the studios, led by the heads of Disney, of Warner Brothers, and of Netflix, offered to restart talks, and they really went nowhere. There were 2 or 3 meetings. The writers said they were basically just lectured to. They were given one offer. They said it wasn't serious negotiations, and that just immediately fell flat, and they went back to the status quo. The actor side of things remains exactly where it was. It's pretty clear that the studios have decided that they're going to deal with the writers first, get that resolved, and then deal with the actors. The actors say they have basically heard nothing as far as restarting negotiations. So even if one part of the strike ends, the other part will still be going on, but the writers have been on strike for quite a bit longer than the actors have.